Hey guys, how's it going? This is Luke. This is Lukewarm Reviews. This is going to be the last of my top 10 favorite Sofubi videos for now. Who knows, in the future I might just sprinkle some more of these in there and just say like, hey, here's some more Sofubi toys that I really like. But for the 3-part series that I've had going on, this is going to be the final one. This is my top 10 favorite large Sofubi. If you haven't seen my other 2, go check them out. The small size, the mid size. This is my big one. If you haven't seen those, there's no order to this list. It's all just random. Whenever you see pictures up here, I have the artist's permission. If you don't, it's not because they said no. It's usually just because they haven't got back to me. We're all busy. We're all productive. We're all busy artists. And so the last category, the big one, is generally, again, and I will speak about this really quick, $150 or more. I feel like titling these videos small, mid-size, and large size Sofubi is sort of disingenuous because there's so many other factors that can affect the price of Sofubi. The notoriety of the artist. Some of the big names, they charge more because that's just how supply and demand works. The complexity of the sculpt. A lot of figures with really, really fine details can cost more. And then also just like the run of the item. And that's where you get a lot of price deviation within one sculpt. If you have a blank of a figure versus a factory paint run versus a micro run versus a one-off, there can be a really broad deviation in price points there. So typically for these videos, I'm just using like the price of a blank of said figure. That's why like some of my figures that I included in the mid-size one, the one-offs and the painted versions of those can go for like 200 or more, like lots more money. But I'm kind of trying to go with like the lowest price point that that figure can typically be found at. So that being said, let's get going. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Hyper Viper by Mutant Vinyl Hardcore. Some of you guys might think this is a weird choice for my large size MVH piece. I know the Ollie, the Berserker, the Crawlus are all bigger and very popular, but there's just something about the Hyper Viper that to me is so cool. I like big robots a lot. I like all of the detail on this guy is insane. He's only done a couple of releases of this, I think. And the white and gold colorway is incredible to me, although I did see on Instagram a comment on something that said MVH is thinking about doing more Hyper Vipers soon. So crossing my fingers for that. This is a dope figure. Moving on, let's talk about TKOM or TKOM or Takahiro Komuro. I don't know how you pronounce TKOM. I always just say it as TKOM. And the Demogorgon. I reached out to TKOM, I didn't get a reply, so you won't see pictures here, but please, please go to this Instagram and check out TKOM art. He is an incredible sculpture artist, an incredible toy maker. All of his figures are very highly sought after, very beautiful. The Demogorgon is one of my favorites. I don't know what else to say about it. It's creepy and the paint jobs are amazing, and I'm a huge fan of TKOM. I haven't mentioned him yet in any of the other videos because all of his pieces are big, all of them that he's ever made. So you know what? Fingers crossed that maybe TKOM continues in the Sofubi world and maybe releases some small stuff soon. But also like he's legit like a fine artist as well. Like he has like gallery shows and stuff like that. So that's the Demogorgon by TKOM. Moving on, the You Show Long by Black Seed. You knew I had to put it in here. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Black Seed is one of my favorites. I love all of it. I love the You Woo Long as well, but the You Show Long, it just edged it out just a little bit. Again, it's all about the detail in this piece. It's so beautiful and culturally inspired, and I will have one day. That's the You Show Long by Black Seed. Moving on. Let's talk about Paul KAIJU. Finally, can we talk about Paul KAIJU? This is another kind of the same situation as TKOM. I'm a huge fan of Paul KAIJU, but like all of his stuff is big. Almost all of his pieces are big, so none of them have made it into my videos until this one. The Dual Bat is my favorite Paul Kaiju piece by far. I think it was one of the first Paul Kaiju pieces I ever saw. I saw it at DesignerCon 2016 when I first went, and I was like, whoa, this stuff is really cool. I really, really love all of Paul's work, his paint jobs. I met Paul at the Taste of the Orient, and he was one of the nicest people I've ever met. I just like shook his hand and I was like, hey, I'm a big fan. And he was so sweet. He was just like, oh my gosh, thanks so much for saying hi. I reached out to him on Instagram. He didn't get back to me, but he's a very busy guy. So go check out Paul Kaiju. Check out the Dual Bat. All of his work is dope. Moving on. Guys, I have one to show you in person, and I'm so happy because I also want to talk about the Yabanjin by Sikkaluna, or SX. This is one where it's a foreign toy maker, and the language barrier can be frustrating in getting like reliable information sometimes. But I see people refer to this as a piece by SX Toys. Let me know, is that just a different name for Sikkaluna, or are they two different artists or brands, or what's going on with that? If you know more about the Yabanjin, let me know. This is a good example of what I was talking about earlier. When I actually got this piece in the mail, it's a little bit smaller in actual like height than I thought, but it's very broad, and also the detail on it is unbelievable. So that's like what I was talking about earlier, the things that make different price points for different figures. This guy, it comes with an accessory. The entire body is sculpted in incredible detail. And so this was a pretty wide run, I think. So this is about the lowest price point that you're bound to find the Yabanjin at. And it came in at just over 150 US, which is an amazing deal. So that's the Yabanjin by Sikkaluna. Boom. Love that piece. Moving on, let's talk about the Etten by Planet X. Planet X is very cool. Same deal. A lot of their stuff is really huge, so I haven't talked about them yet. The Etten is my favorite. They have a couple of two-headed figures. They have like the dual clops as well. I also like the Goliathon. Planet X, very classic style, very cool kaiju monsters. I think I'll have some pictures of the Etten next to me. So check those out. Go check out Planet X. Next one, moving on. Let's talk about the Dokuro by Ill Synapse. I have not got a reply from them. There's a little bit of a language barrier. I try, a lot of the people that I've reached out to on Instagram, I just went on Google Translate and put in my whole spiel, translated to Japanese, and then sent it to them on Instagram. So it worked out for some people just haven't got back to me. But yeah, this is an incredible figure. I saw some of them at Taste of the Orient. They had some one-offs there, so go watch my video. You'll see it's like a little guy with a scythe. He's a little Grim Reaper kind of figure. It's very funny and kind of wacky, very clean, very badass, spooky, all of these good things. Go follow Ill Synapse on Instagram. Check out the Dokuro. It's amazing. Moving on. This is one I'm excited to talk about. This is a kind of indie guy that I think a lot of people don't know about. This is the Cthulhu by Mountain Toys, or Unspeakable Jim Lee. I think Jim Lee is the artist, and Mountain Toys is the brand, and Cthulhu is the name of the piece, or Call of Cthulhu. I'm not sure. It's a very new piece. There's only been a couple of releases of it so far, so all of that information is just doing my best with what I've seen on Instagram. But this piece is huge. It's incredibly detailed. I love Cthulhu and Lovecraftian kind of designs and lore and stuff like that. And so I think this piece is very beautiful, and I would love to have one day. So that's the Mountain Toys / Unspeakable Jim Lee Call of Cthulhu. Very badass figure. We got two more guys coming down to the wire. So it's time to talk about another TKOM piece. Shout out to TKOM for being the only artist to have two pieces in one video, because I'm going to talk about Doublethink now. Doublethink is probably my favorite Sofubi figure. I said I wasn't going to do an order, but I just have to. It was one of the first ones that I saw, and I just fell in love with it right away. It has everything that I could possibly want. If you've watched all my videos, you know. It's creepy, it's kind of clean and symmetrical, but still funny and irreverent and wacky. I know I'm not gonna have pictures here to do it justice, but go follow TKOM on Instagram. If there's one artist that you go follow out of all of these videos, go follow everyone. Please do it, they're amazing, but go follow TKOM. He's incredible. And RIP, the Doublethink is no more. He has officially announced that they're doing no more releases of the original Doublethink. He's working on a new sculpt for Doublethink that is going to be a full-size sculpture first, and then I think he's going to make into Sofubi. But yeah, so I'll have to find one of these on the secondary market one day when I'm a millionaire, because they're all very expensive. So let me know if you know anybody who has a Doublethink for sale. And moving on, the last one, I'm going to talk about the Beast Ape by Red Hot Style. Shout out to Red Hot Style for being the only artist to have a piece in all 3 of my videos at every different price point. They are incredible. They do incredible paint jobs. There's the regular Beast Ape, and then there's also like a 3-headed Beast Ape that's very cool. Don't get me wrong, but I just think I like the regular one better. There's also like a tiger head that they put on it at some points. They do a lot of really cool things with this figure. Very cool classic kaiju feel, very cool King Kong homage. So yeah, that's the Beast Ape by Red Hot Style. And that's gonna do it, guys. That is my top 10 favorite large size Sofubi. And that is the end of my 3 video Sofubi series on my favorite molds. So now you know a little bit about me, about what I like. If you're a new person to the hobby, you know a bunch of artists that you can just go follow, go look at their work, and then fall down the rabbit hole on Instagram. Just do it. Just follow the hashtags, follow the tags in the photos, and let me know how you feel about Sofubi. Let's talk. What are your top 10 favorite large size pieces? I'll be back with more. I got a bunch of ideas stirring about other Sofubi videos I'm gonna make because I love the community, so let's keep chatting. Let me know what you think, guys. See you soon.